left last week, and between you and me, I'm not sure I'll ever see him again. The ocean tends to be a little crazy sometimes, and sailors don't always make it back. What may they be saying is going to happen? Oh. What could happen? What? He might not ever come back. He might die. Okay. What would happen if he's on a boat in the ocean? And the ocean is sometimes a little scary. What do we think might happen?
He might be thrown overboard.
He might be thrown overboard. The ship may crash. They might get hijacked by pirates. I mean, I don't know. But this is kind of making me feel like something's going to happen to Chris. And maybe it's the ocean that gets him. I don't know. Do you see the difference between rising action? Okay? Look into your paper and check with your friend again. Mark the rising action. Is it only one thing? No. It can be lots of things, you guys. When Miss Bloodworth says many people were beginning to wonder what was outside and wanted to become explorers, maybe she wants to be an explorer. I don't know. That may be rising action. Some it might be, unfortunately, many people were also broke. I don't know, maybe she's going to talk a little bit about being poor and somebody stowed away on a ship and all that kind of stuff. But these are all things that could turn into big ideas. That's your rising action. So go back in again and find your rising action and highlight it. And if you don't have it, what's that mean? If you don't have it, then do you have a narrative? No, you got to have it. So if you're writing a narrative paper, you must have rising action.
Cool.
So what's your rising action, Nicholas?
That's a rising action.
What's leading me to believe?
Oh, something good happened.
My family's poor, but I'm a hard worker for the king. So the king decided to let me explore the world to find shortcuts to get spices. So I went on my journey with my crew for days. Okay. So what is leading you to a wilderness? What is leading you? It's hard for me to see the red. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful rising action. Okay, guys, is it okay? And then if I read yours, can I do that? Is that okay? No, you don't want me to? Okay.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
You sure? You got to tell me. No, he's like that. Okay. All right. But man, that was beautiful. Beautiful rising action. Okay. That is part of the rising action. Right? Okay, so you're telling me it's I'm on the ship, I was a nervous wreck, self-excited. We left from England. Sure. Okay. Okay, I think that when you start talking about the Italian time, and singing like that, it was the last thing. And I think everybody was part of it. Okay. All right. Okay, you guys, I'm going to share a rising action. All right? So here we go. I was wandering around looking at bugs until I heard a big stomp on the ground. I was wondering what that was until I heard it again. I walked up really close to the jungle and I heard loud banging, like the banging on a chest. And then I saw the trees moving closer and closer to me. Okay? Does that make you go, something's gonna happen, something's gonna happen, something's gonna happen? Okay? Yeah, that's rising action. You are building it up and building it up and building it up. All right? No, you can't. I just want the rising action. All right, so this is hard, you guys. This is hard to find the rising action if you don't have a climax. If you don't have a big event, is it a narrative? No. So, is the big event that you found a new land? Is the big event that you crashed the boat? Is the big event, what's your big event? If you have a big event, then it's really easy to find that rising action. Okay? I'm not sure everybody's quite done yet. If you have a big event and you know what your climax is, highlight that. Highlight that. Remember, the climax is like in Little Miss Muffet. He sat down beside her. It's gonna change everything. She's gonna run away. Okay? Let's see what you got. Oh, very nice. 4 days later, there's a huge storm. We set out to explore. Okay. About 4 days later, we saw a storm made the water really wavy, knocked off the humans, knocked off the humans. Oh, okay. 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 But then you go through the storm to finally we hit like, okay, wait a minute, go back to the storm. I want to know more about the storm. You know what I'm saying? You said it's a huge storm. All right. Did you guys find a climax? What was yours? Hi. Yes, what's your climax? What's the big event? You may not have it yet. You may not be there. Okay? You may not have it yet. That's okay. You've got the beginning part. Okay? That is the character in the session. You've got 2 minutes, right? And you need to know support and make it like exciting, like you want to read it, right? Okay, then you go back down. Just like how you highlighted it, and highlight that after that, click on highlight. Okay? Okay. All right, you guys. As I walked around the room, it kind of seemed like we weren't quite at that climax point yet. Like either we had just hit the climax or we didn't have one yet. So we didn't have a big event, okay? So I'm going to have you stop for just a second, close your laptop or your Chromebook, and I want you guys to look up at me. I'm going to introduce you to a strategy that helps you show people what happened instead of just telling them. Okay? So, for example, I'm going to walk into the room and you're going to tell me what you see. Okay? So I'm going to go out and come back in. Here is what I wrote in my story. You ready? Can I write on this a second? This is Brown. came into our class. Okay? Does that tell you what happened?
Yeah.
Let's see. Ready? So, Miss Brown came into our class.
Hey, stop.
Yeah, stop.
You're in the truth.
Paying attention. Miss Brown came into the class. Is that what happened?
No.
What do you mean? I did come into the class.
Oh.
Okay. So if I wrote that sentence, would you know what happened in this classroom? No. All right. So change it for me, and we're going to change it with a strategy. This strategy, don't worry about it. I'll pick it up. I made
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I was looking for Kara Kraus.
Okay, she is with Miss Robertson.
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to use a strategy that's called bada bing. Okay. So say bada bing. All right. You have ba, the first part. Okay. And that is where the feet were, where you were standing. Okay. So we said Miss Brown came into our class. Give me another sentence for coming into the class of what you saw.
Miss Brown stormed into our class.
Okay? Stormed into the class. All right, so we got that one. Then we have, what did you see? What did you see? What did you see, Pete? Okay, you saw wreck, so you could use the word wreck, but give me a sentence. What did you see? When I came in, what did you see me do? Okay, I wrecked the class. That's better than came into the class. What did I do? What did I do? Okay, did I throw stuff around?
Yes.
I threw it around, I picked it up, and I threw it over here, and then I threw it over there. What'd I do? Okay, what was that again? I smacked it. I smacked. What did I smack? The sticky notes. Smack the sticky notes. Where? Where did I smack them? Okay, I smacked the sticky notes all over the ground. Okay? All over the ground. Now let's do Bing. What did you think? Okay. Okay, so you could add that. Okay. Okay. What did you think? Okay. Do that. What did you think? What did you think?
I thought Miss Brown was mad at somebody.
Okay. All right. I thought she might be mad. What else did somebody think? I thought she might be mad. What else?
You weren't in a good mood.
Okay. I think that's right. I thought she might be mad. I thought she might be in a bad mood. What do you think? Okay, somebody made her crazy, right? Okay, I thought she might, I thought someone made her crazy. Okay? All right.
I thought she was floating in the fit like a little baby.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. She stormed into the class throwing a fit like a baby. Right? Like a baby. What else? What else?
Thought you came into the classroom like a Tasmanian devil in July.
Ooh, a Tasmanian devil. Ooh, Tasmania. What is Tasmania?
It's a crazy person.
It's an island.
Where? Australia.
It's where
Tasmanian.
Tasmanian and tigers were, used to be a lot.
Okay, all right, what?
I thought she was something from paranoid.
Ooh, she might be paranoid. Okay. Okay. One of the things, you guys, with narrative, look out for a second, Nicholas. I don't want to fall. Throw things. Okay. So with narrative, you guys, with the narrative, you have the opportunity to say what you saw instead of just telling Miss Brown came into the class. So you would say, Miss Brown stormed into the class, smacking sticky notes all over the ground and tossing the chairs. I thought she might be mad because someone made her crazy.
Right.
Is that better than Miss Brown came into our class?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a whole lot better. That's what we call a bada bing. You say where you were, what you saw, and what you thought. Okay? All right. So, again, when you're writing a narrative, you have to have one bada bing at least in order to let them know the details about what you're writing. So when you're talking about being on the ocean, okay, so let's put this one up here. The ocean was wavy. The ocean was wavy. It's a good sentence. It's got a subject and a verb. It describes something. But does this make you think that it was bad?
No.
It's just like it's wavy. With your table, bada bing this sentence. Tell me what it was that happened, what it looked like, and what you thought. Not to me, to your table.
I got round table, join one. I got join that table.
Miss Brown.
The ocean was.
Yeah, everybody gets one. This is a reminder. Say where you were, what you saw, what you thought. This is just a reminder. Okay? This is just a reminder. It's a reminder, we'll get to it in a second. All right. Hold on, I get 1, 2, 3.
What are you doing?
Okay.
All right. So did you come up with something?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody look at me. If I'm going to tell you that the ocean was waving, I want you to bada bing it for me. So you're going to say, if you are watching the ocean, where are you?
In the ocean.
You could be on a boat. You could be on the shore.
Swimming.
Okay, you could be swimming. Okay, that's the feet part. Where were you? For me, for the bada bing we did on me, I was sitting quietly at my desk, is what you would say. And then Miss Brown stormed into the classroom, smacking, sticking it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? So, how do you start this? The ocean was wavy. Give me where you were. Give me the starting point. Where were you? Oh, in the middle of nowhere, as I stood on the deck of the boat. What'd I see? Ryan, what'd I see?
You saw waves hitting past like a bird.
I saw waves hitting the boat or the house.
The houses.
Okay, but if I'm on a boat and I'm in the middle of nowhere, is there a house?
No.
No, so you would say hitting the boat like a hurricane. And I thought, what?
I thought it was gonna flip over.
Does that sound better than the ocean was wavy? It does.
That's what
It really, really does. Who else has another example? Tell me. Go ahead, baby.
on the beach.
Okay. As I stood on the, what kind of a beach? Shells or sand? As I stood on the sandy beach, I saw,
The waves eroding the sand.
I saw the waves eroding the sand, and I thought, what'd I think?
The ocean was under the rain of a storm.
And I thought the ocean was showing there was a storm coming, or under the rain of the storm. Okay? Who else has got another one?
I do.
What you got, Caleb?
Wait, is this one saw?
Remember, we're doing where were you?
I was on the beach.
Okay? As I stood on the sandy beach, what did I see?
Boats being rocked.
I saw boats being rocked, and I thought
It must be windy.
it must be windy. Okay? Now, is his story give you a different picture in your mind than if the waves are crashing into the boat like it's a hurricane? Yeah. But both of those sentences, you guys, Nicholas, both of those sentences are about the ocean being wavy. But it sure doesn't help if you don't tell them you have to show them instead of tell them what you think. Another example. I was where?
As I was standing atop the peak by the beach.
As I was standing on top of the peak at the beach, I saw
the waves thrashing around boats like a volleyball.
like a ball, thrashing around boats like a volleyball, and I thought,
I hope that those people stay alive and they don't get thrown overboard and die.
okay, but you're on the beach, right? So you're thinking, I hope everyone's okay. Right? Okay. Different feeling again. All right, who hasn't had a chance to go yet? Yes.
I was on the plank of the boat and I saw the waves hitting the boat and the water almost got me. And I thought
Okay, so you could say, and I thought, I hope there's no sharks down there. Right? I hope there's no alligators in there. Okay.
There's not alligators.
Right? Okay. Go ahead. Where were you?
It was midnight and my was on the sand beach.
Okay.
And it started to rain. And when I saw the biggest wave that I've ever seen. I saw the biggest wave that I've never seen before, and I thought, we need to get out of here before we get hit next.
We need to get out of here before we get hit. Absolutely. Okay, so do you guys see how in a narrative story, you can take simple sentences and make them into something really, I guess, imaginative?
Scary.
Okay? All right. So what I want you to do at this point is I want you to find a plain old sentence that you think is good. And I want you to bada bing it.
In our story.
Yes. In your story, find a sentence that you think is good and bada bing it.
Okay, sorry guys.
I don't know.
Yes. I'm going to clean up my mess. You did? Okay, let me listen to it after. Let me clean up the mess. Okay. Are you okay? That would be good for you to say. You could be like, so I was sitting quietly at my desk. I saw Miss Brown come in like a tornado, and I thought, I'm gonna get hurt. I better get out of the way. Yeah, that's good.
I did think it was interesting how they all focused on your feelings and not their own.
Right.
Like she's mad.
Yeah, exactly.
They actually felt
Exactly.
shocked.
Yeah, and I thought, ooh, someone made her crazy. Yeah, she's crazy. That's exactly, she is crazy.
We all are.
Yes.
Find us some
Oh, I got it.
in your story
Just
so you can automate. Where were you? What did you see? What did you think? Find
Okay.
one of those short sentences.
Tell me, where were you? We were in the jungle, were we? Okay. As I stood in the forbidden forest. So, what did I see?
Y'all don't lose your little visual. We're gonna put that in your journal.
Okay, I got one.
Did you find a sentence, Lola? Okay. Give me a good, plain, good sentence. Okay, okay. So, we need to get out of here before the boat floats away. Okay, so that may be what she said, but I want you to tell me about you. Where were you? As I stood next to Shannon,
Find a
I
short
saw
sentence in your story and plot opinion.
and I thought, or Shannon thought, you better get out of here, or whatever. You can do that. We are not very happy. Give me more. What's that mean? Right? Okay, so where were you? What'd you see? Yes. Sorry, just that indicators. Refresh it for me, Brian, just in case. Do it again. This one is here.
The short one.
You hit, refresh. Take your hands off. What you're gonna do is you're gonna
You're gonna hit everybody
Yeah,
else.
there you go.
So you wanna run out there and give it a quick sentence real quick and then come back so you don't miss what we did next day.
I want you to stop it, I want you to, rearrange it, and then. So they can, yes, absolutely. Yes. You got it? Awesome. All right, what's your good sentence? Okay, you did it. Yeah. All right, hold on 1 second. I was gonna say, you took, after I said goodbye to Jack, I set off to see. Bada bing, that sentence for me. Where were you standing? What did you see? You know, as I stood at the porch, my father hugged me and I saw tears in his eyes and I thought, I hope I can. I mean, like, what do you, give me more, Okay. Just a second, I gotta listen to Brian. Hey, Brian, what was your good one? Yeah, very nice. I hope everybody survives, right? Yeah. Sorry, baby. Yes, okay. What little sentence? Okay, give me that. Where were you? Okay, very nice. So write that. Put it at top. Okay, were you by yourself? So you would say, standing alone at the top of the crow's nest. Top of the crow's nest. I saw. I saw, what do you see? Top of the crow's nest, I saw. That's it? Did you actually hit land? Or did you see it far off in the distance? But you're in the crow's nest, right? So you're way up high. Okay. Okay, so give me more. That's like came into the classroom. Tell me how you hit land. Are you feeling the way that it felt to hit land? We rammed into the shore and I knew that we had hit land. Or are you like, I didn't even feel it kind of thing? Or are you talking about you rammed into it? Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're thinking and stop right. Okay, crashed is different than you know, making landfall, right? Okay, yes.
So describe it right.
All right, what's sentence did you say? Oh, how about it? Okay. Right here. I guess I'm excited. Don't tell me you're excited. Show me. Bada bing. Yes. Yes, I will. Remember, guys, don't tell me you're excited. Don't tell me you're mad. Don't tell me you're happy.
I'm happy.
Show me you're happy. Bada bing it. And that's what I love. My prince, one day, my best friend, Sam, he's also not we're looking for dragons. Then we got lost in the forest. And then we saw a huge tree. He turned into gas was flashing, they swept and that must have hurt for the dragon. All right. Can you tell me what it looked like in the Forbidden Forest? Like, we were in the Forbidden Forest, surrounded by what? What could it be? Okay, standing along the top of the crow's nest, I saw. All right. So instead of saying I saw the crow's nest, I looked down and saw that we crashed into the shore. They got
We have to go to here and here, otherwise it's gonna get lost.
I thought what? Thank goodness we finally here. That shows that you're excited and relieved. Don't tell me you're excited.
Caleb.
Explain it. Show me. Okay. I get asked to go. I jumped on the ship and left. I truly thought we weren't going to make it back. One time a sailor did make it back. Okay. Oh, before I was asked to go, I jumped on the ship and it left. And I truly thought we were going to make it back. Oh. Okay, so one time a sailor didn't make it back. But the rocking ship left once I got on it. Are we looking to get rid of some other parts? Okay. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So I've asked you to bada bing something, right? Okay. Tell me again when you use a bada bing. Tell me when you use a bada bing. What did we do with it? What kind of a sentence did we find in our writing? Carter, what did we find? We found a simple sentence. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. But when we bada binged it, you got a much clearer picture of what we meant, right? So if I said the ocean was wavy, it's much more clearest, I don't know, whatever. It is more clear that when you say, as I stood on the deck of the boat and waves crashed into me like a hurricane, I thought, dear heavens, I hope we make it. That's like way more explanatory, imaginative than the ocean was waving. That's kind of like when people say, you have a pet, and you go, I like my pet. My pet is brown. He is furry. I like my dog. He has 2 ears. His color is green. Okay, does that really make it sound like you like him? No, okay, so you've got to be able to show somebody without telling them. Don't tell me you're happy. Don't tell me you're excited. Explain it. Show me you're excited. Show me you're scared. Show me you're worried. Don't just tell me. Show me. And you're going to see that in a narrative story. A narrative story. What must be the thing that you have to have in a narrative story? You must have a plot. Okay, you have to have a plot. You don't have a plot, you don't have a narrative. All right? All right. So I need you to stop bada binging, and I need you to look up here at me. You can always go back and bada bing whatever you want. Okay? And later on in the year, Miss Bloodworth's going to blow your mind. She's going to do a blow your mind bada bing later. Okay? Bada blow your mind. No, I don't know what that is. Okay. Anyway. All right. So sometimes it's important that we go back and we look for things that need to be edited. Okay? For example, when you edit something, what are you usually looking for?
Something that correction.
I hear you, Linda. What are you saying? Capitalization, punctuation, spelling, all those different things that go into that, okay? So, using your computer again, I want you to go in and underline the first word of every sentence. Underline.
How do you underline?
Look at me. First word, I highlight and I underline. I highlight and I underline. I highlight and I underline. Every first word of every sentence. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Don't, what's the other one? There's dollars, twos, and Yeah. Stoner's shoes working last time I do that again. That's right. Yeah, parent. Okay, bye. All right, do you notice anything about the first word of your sentences?
No capital.
Oh, did somebody find that they needed a capital? Oh, you did it great. Perfect. How many of you couldn't find the beginning of your sentence? Because it was one giant sentence.
Oh, good. I can find mine.
If you have one giant sentence, guess what you gotta add? Punctuation. Doesn't have to be a period, but you gotta end your sentence. Yes.
Or else it's a run on.
I like that. Good. Good, good.
If it's not,
Yep, you're exactly right. If there's no period, then what kind of a sentence is it? A run-on. What if it's a tiny little sentence and doesn't have a subject? It's a fragment. Very nice. You can stop it right there. Good.
It was just that one sentence.
That's good, but you found it because you were ratiocinate.
I did it.
Yeah, you were ratiocinate.
Oh,
You did? How's it look? Did you find anything that should have been capitalized that you changed? Okay, good.
sometimes we're careful.
Hey, you're creating that illustration.
Okay, Nicole, you're the one that found the capitalization, right? Guys, why would I make you go back and underline the first word of every sentence? Why? Raise your hand and tell me. Why would I do that? Why? Because the start of every sentence needs a capital letter. Sometimes we remember that. Sometimes we get so excited about the writing that we forget to tell you. Okay? So, Nicole said, oh, I found one. I found it. Okay? That's good. Now go look at the end of your sentence. Make sure you have end punctuation.
Do we underline?
I would underline it also.
So you're underlining the beginning of every sentence.
And
So you highlighted
the last
thank
word.
you, and then the last word. You're looking for punctuation.
No, it's actually quite easy.
Underline the last word of the sentence. The last word of the sentence. You're underlining, not highlighting.
It'll go quick. So,
You underline the last word of the sentence, and you underline the first word of the sentence.
the beginning and the end of every sentence. We have about 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Blue is dark. No, my eyes are older.
So when you underline the last word of the sentence and the first word of the sentence, what should you see? You should see end punctuation next to a capital letter. end of the sentence should have punctuation. The next word after that should be capitalized. It's the beginning of a sentence.
I'm sorry.
Look.
Excuse me, don't be rude. Okay? Go forward, for heaven's sakes. Then go back. Dude, you gotta figure it out.
Okay, I did it.
All right. As soon as you're done with that, go ahead and save it. Make sure it's saved. Close it. Sign out. Go ahead and sign out. Close it.
Guys, it's in Google Docs. It saves automatically.
Okay.
Remember, we're used to Google or Word.
Yeah, we're used to Word.
Teachers are used to
Sorry.
Word.
So where does the Chromebook go?
Yeah. No.
Caleb,
Taylor.
I think she wants it in a different place.
Yeah, I have computer experts. They'll take care of putting them away. We're just stacking them on the
Okay,
screen.
once you've signed out, close your Chromebook and put it on the back counter, no more than 5 high.
I didn't ask you to do anything with your journals. You've been asked to put your computers on the shelf, no more than 5 high.
Right now, try it.
Okay, no more than 5 high. Please do not stack the Windows computers with a Chromebook. Make a separate stack for Windows computers. They're not the same size. We want to protect our technology. Yep. Okay, where are you supposed to be right now, Caleb?
What is it supposed to be?